We're going to look into some more foolishness here. This is Lisa Cabrera's site here, where she's a black witch. Check it out. Here's her disclaimer saying that she can just change her mind or anything, and she's not liable for any indirect or subsequential, consequential, or incidental damages for anything anybody has just from listening to what she says.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just had to do this video. You hear me? I had to do this video.
Oh no.
Now, Henna is one of those things. The earliest henna on Earth came from Egypt.
Actually, it came from out of the Middle Eastern area. Yeah, in Yemen and India and through the Middle Eastern area here. Yeah, that's where it kind of grows and stuff. But yeah, what she got to say about henna? I just want to mention here, they're going to show Queen Hatshepsut, this Caucasian Egyptian with her Caucasian hair, and it's got some henna in it too. And they noted that even though it had henna in it, that she was a brunette. Yeah, and all the Egyptian mummies have been found have been Caucasian, so I can already tell you where this is going, but let's just watch her hang herself. Here we go.
And they used to do their fingers in henna, and they would do their hair. And in fact, back in the day, I used to wear Egyptian henna over this.
Okay, so she, being an admixed black woman, would probably have a light enough skin to where some of it might show up. But the West African Negroids don't really have that effect. They use body scarring and things and have never really messed with henna as per se, except for maybe in a modern time, and like she's describing. But blacks want to be associated with Egyptian as opposed to their own heritage. They like Caucasian stuff a lot better. Let's continue.
Summer, and it used to always give my hair a reddish color in the summer. So henna goes back 3400 BCE.
Yeah, and it makes your hair red. The natural form of it, it's red. It with Egypt, it has to do with the gods Seth and Seti, and also this relates to the Typhon of the Levant, and actually into the Greeks and stuff. And he's a red-headed god. This goes all the way back to like volcano gods, where they have red lava flows and things like that off of it, and works with red-headed people like Ramses was, and a lot of the ancient Egyptians are showing now that they found a lot of them that are redheads. In fact, one of the famous burial sites there, the necropolises, is separated with blondes in one area, redheads in another, and then all the brown and black-haired people in another area too. And they're looking at them and checking genetics, and they're pretty much the same. And the oddity there is that it's not families together, it's colored hair together with people. And it's not necessarily a dyed thing at all. They make a few forms of this too. They can make it all the way from a blonde form, and then they can make it all the way to a black. But there's some problems with the black henna dyes that they make nowadays. They got problems with it. I remember when we were kids, you didn't want to do that because you'd import it, and you didn't know if it had whatever it was in it.
So, earliest findings of henna found in Egypt. Okay?
We'll go with that.
Now, let's take a look at what happened when the builders of Egypt put henna on their skin. Henna, the same henna that was used
Caucasians,
in Egypt.
Yeah, they tattooed.
They use for temporary tattoos.
Yeah, they had real tattoos too. There's a lot of mummies that I found that they had real tattoos too, and of course that wouldn't show up on Negroids either. Today's admixed Negroids, if kept out of the sun quite a bit, or most of them, can be light enough that a tattoo might show up. Some of the darker greens they use and stuff, but it really didn't show up well. Although there's a lot of blacks that are bleaching themselves nowadays to try to look more like Caucasians, and in doing so, they have the ability even more to do so. And of course, any mulatto type person should be able to pull it off, but of course, that's not what the Egyptians were in any way, shape, or form. Let's continue.
So let me show you. Henna tattoo leaves child with chemical burns. Now, the builders of Egypt This came out in The Independent. And I will leave the link to this article in the description box. August 6, 2018. A mother has warned against allowing their children to get black henna tattoos. Wait a minute, I thought y'all were the builders of Egypt. You can't handle henna? The Egyptians wore it on their fingers, they wore it in their hair. I used to wear Egyptian henna.
Okay, I don't know how far we are here, but bam. Okay, so let's see. So now she's trying to call out Caucasians for having been the Egyptians, clearly implying that it somehow West African primitives might have had something to do with the pyramids, which is a disgusting racist lie. And you'll see how she acts and reacts through what she feels is her true reaction. Before we go any farther, let's do something simple. Henna tattoo leaves child with chemical burns. Black henna. I already told you black henna had problems with it, but that's like chemical dye crap. Now, they didn't have that chemical crap back then. Now we've got these long-ass words and stuff people get allergic to, and it causes all kinds of problems. Let's take a look at henna. Let me see if I can find henna here someplace. There is one of these open. Well, there's tattoos, ancient origins, but that's a totally different video here. Let's go back to henna, which it was used somewhat in that too. You call them Mindy, right? That's another word for it. It's the India word for it. It's a dye prepared from the plant Luocini inermis, and it has this little bitty flowers all over it, and you can't really tell there, but it's got a lot of darkening spots into it, and that will just leach out. And it's believed that when people were collecting these flowers, that it would get all over their hands and stain them, and so they came up with the idea to do this. And at 3400 BC is the oldest that they find it in Egypt, because it predates dynastic Egypt, but they can also find it in other places at those same time intervals and with people that go back from before that. Everybody wants to attach everything onto Egypt, but we know about the Sumerians going back before that now, and of course all the Proto-Indo-Europeans and all those type of things. And henna grows up in those lands too, and over through India and all the way up through into the Himalayas and so on too, if you'll look at its range. And there's different types of it slightly, but historically henna was used in the Arabian Peninsula. So here we see these Caucasians here, Indian subcontinent, and Near East, and so we know what the Near East is, and Anatolia and all that stuff, with named after Anat, the goddess of there. And then looking here at Egypt, when we say the Middle East Caucasians here, and Carthage, of course, North Africa, and really across all of North Africa and through Egypt, and all the primordial Caucasians that were all the way through North Egypt, and even the Horn of Africa, which also is Caucasians in primordial times, even if you look at the definition of Caucasian race itself. In fact, we can do that real rapidly here. Let's just do this so we're clear. Caucasian race. Type it right, yeah. So Caucasian, Caucasoid, Europeoid, they make skulls like this. Caucasian, white people, whatever you want to call them, but they're not all white, is what you think. They're the Caucasians. It encompasses a lot more, and it wasn't just some people living right around the Caucasus Mountains, of course. And these are people from, let's look at these maps again, Europe, Western Asia, which is what we looked at before, Central Asia, which is above India and up into Proto-Indo-Europeans, South Asia, which is going to encompass India, Northern Africa, and includes Egypt, and Horn of Africa, as I said here. And then we talk about historical Hamites. Just to be clear about all of this, and if we look at Hamites, Hamites is a division in the linguistics of the Caucasian race, which we just looked at right there, and Caucasians, Hamitic, Berber, Cushitic, and Egyptian Caucasians. Yeah, so here we are looking at that and where they were on the planet versus other people. until just recently. And some of those people don't like their place, and they really want to try to associate themselves with other places. Give you an example of what it would look like if a Caucasian does this type of thing. It's beautiful. This is more lace patterns they have nowadays and stuff. Extremely fine lace patterns and things. That's done a lot of times in. Oh, she messed up her pinky just slightly. Touched it to something before it dried totally. And you got to be careful with it after and everything. It's not like you're going around washing the dishes, people, and stuff. But and whenever all these nodules comes off, it still leaves a reddish orange around on them. And I've seen them now mix this brown with the red kind, that's the common kind, and even some of the yellow, and blend out with waters and make like little rainbowy kind of, or red, orange, yellow blends and sunsets and things like that off them. It's pretty cool. So that's where it kind of comes from, and it's all the Caucasian areas that they talked about here, and it doesn't have anything to do with Negroes. And people do it in body art. It contains proteins. It comes from a plant matter that we talked about, and they can get henna powder out of it and stuff and make it. And you can see how these people, this elder Punjab woman here, has actually dyed her hair in a symbolic red color, hearkening to the Aryans that had, some of them, the leaders and people, had red hair back in the day. David, Solomon of the Bible, things like that. Of course, these Caucasians. And then they also do something like this to their beards in recollection of Muhammad. Muhammad was also known to be a red-headed. They still have some of his beard and things along that line. It's called a hadith, and that they go along with that in. And so again, here's another cool pattern of this. And you can tell it really wouldn't show up much on black people. Black people did a bunch of scarring where they would take little knives and cut their skin and let it leave permanent scars all over them and little patterns and things. That's what they did versus these others and stuff. And all these festivals they do. Oh, here may be one of those ones. You can kind of see it. You can see how they use some yellow and the red. And the yellow bled into there, and so it has a little bit of a sunset flower thing. And this is just on a foot. And it's not that thick kind. This is what ends up doing the drawing and stuff, and you can do that. So you can do it the beaded kind, and this is done in weddings and things and stuff. It's a Caucasian thing from that whole area around in there, and regions they find it, in Algeria, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bulgaria, Egypt. Still, the bride gathers her friends the night before the wedding day to celebrate henna night. It's all through there and stuff. And they tell you in Bulgaria, that it's the red supposedly simulates the idea of the woman losing her virginity and so on. And it's all about red ochre and the red ochre symbology that used to go with all these Caucasians. And you can see that in a lot of art, like the Egyptian art, Minoans, Greeks, and all the people of that area. The males are drawn a symbolic red color, and the females are drawn pale. And something like this, where they mix milk with the red ochre type style of art also, and they dip their feet into it, it shows that they're actually becoming wedded to a man. And so it has to do with that. Egypt, Iran, Malaysia, Morocco. You're really not going to see Moroccan Jews and stuff. You're really not going to see this spoken about having anything to do with Negroids whatsoever in any way. Here's one done with a more yellowish or blonde look. And and it's just a preference type thing. It's some of it's symbolic. Otherwise, they are not so much trapped into it anymore. India, in Israel too, they do this, and they'll tell you that it comes back from the region can be traced back to the Song of Songs, in which the author wrote, "My beloved is to me a cluster of henna blossoms in the vineyards of Engedi," and so this is like a hearkening of a love song type of thing. And people have found out that this has to do with the Canaanite religion and things that go along with that too, and it works with it, but they still keep it along into there. You see Somalia's pulled it up there in that northern African area, or the Horn area, Tunisia, Turkey, Yemen, and so on. So there are side effects, though, they talk about that they have here. They call them adulterants, and it's made it like illegal to take in certain ones, and so now we have to take in the raw product and we make it here. And even there's the U.S. body art is subject to seizure and stuff like that, so blah blah blah. So in other words, the FDA has taken and regulated it from it. Now there's natural henna, and which proves a red-brown stain, darken after days, and so on. It's called red henna, and so it's really more of that red symbolic color that you see, natural henna and then black henna, and it can be derived by what you use as indigo to go with it. So it's really something totally different whenever they try to make a black henna versus the tobacco color or the red color that they make. And the problem with that is this PPD thing, and it talks about it here. Yeah, henna artists in India, Bali, Arabia Peninsula, sometimes blah blah blah, and even Morocco and stuff. They use like kerosene or gasoline lighter fluid and real paint thinner stuff to go along with it, and it causes bad skin reactions. Illegal for use in skin in Western countries. Da da da. Black henna, especially children, they're real susceptible to it and stuff. Must be quickly rinsed away. All these type of things that you see here. You can just look up henna. She didn't look up henna. She looked up I'm a racist, hating white people thing again. And here's all the references and all this henna. And so that shows you kind of the history of henna. We don't need to look at all the blonde, blue-haired Egyptians. If you want me to, I'll go to those pictures. But let's just see if she yaps more, or actually what it's going to look like from now on as she's making a fool of herself. So let's see what she's got to say about white people and how she hates them and cackles like a witch. Ready?
I used to always wear it through the summer. And it gave me red highlights.
Yeah, red highlights. Something that's not a
and
Negroid
I never
trait.
got burned from it. Not once. And it's like a powder.
No.
Right?
Yeah. My sisters did a party one time where they did some henna things, and you do it around on your face and everything too and stuff. Nobody had a problem with it. They went to Six Flags. It didn't wash off though. The problem was they still had it on them like Monday and Tuesday.
So they're warning against this because it left their young sons with severe chemical burns.
Yep, it's that black kind I talked
Tony
about.
Feeney, 30, was on holiday with her family in Morocco.
Yeah, so this is a place where it can happen at. A lot of these, cultural tourist spots, you can get something, and Morocco's full of that idea, of course, because Tunisia and all the Moroccans, the Caucasians from up there, the Moors, and everything we all hear about, and everything, primordial Caucasians, as I showed you on the map itself, and that blacks want to act like don't exist, and everybody was a Negro, and it's like, no, man, what are y'all thinking? Who's deluding y'all and making you say these things? Oh, it's just your jealousy, or is it somebody telling you what's making you act this way and lie? It's disgusting. But watch, she just hates white people. Here's one getting a tattoo, and she's like, oh, it's burning you. Burns your skin. You can't stand the sun. Funny thing is these people are in Morocco getting a tan, getting this stuff, no problem. There are Caucasians in Egypt. If you want to discount the original Caucasians of Egypt, let's just talk about the Hyksos, the Greeks, the Romans. They all had fine time there. It's actually hotter in Texas than it is in Egypt. But let's watch her cackle when she thinks that she's somehow an Egyptian.
When her two sons asked to get black henna tattoo. Now, black henna is also used in Egypt. Okay?
They're not allowed to use the other kind.
So they were in northern Africa, right? This is where they claim they're from, and they're claiming the northern Africans are white.
Caucasians the whole time, definitely. Don't cackle like a witch. Oh, Lord.
Okay, y'all. However, both tattoos cause severe skin damage, leaving each of Feeney's son with chemical burns after the designs appear to have melted into their skin.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, how are you the builders of Egypt and you can't even handle the henna that comes from Egypt?
Ha ha ha. See her little premise here? Now we is Egyptians again, even though it's all been proven. So the reason she's coming at it from a blacks for sure is that it's been proven for sure they weren't. But she still got this jealousy trait. See, a lot of them still, if you don't believe, a lot of them are still sticking with the idea that somehow they were. Look at my recent videos. I've got a guy that tried to talk crap to me and call me out and everything, and then made a video about it, so I made a debunk, and he freaked out and made this one that just makes him look pathetic, so I did a debunk on it. But regardless of that, they cackle like witches and think that they have something going on, these black women. It's hilarious how they act too whenever they're putting on their Caucasian mimicking hair hats, isn't it? But yeah, they use this black tattoo made out of kerosene and this other crap that's that PPHD stuff, and it'll actually screw you up pretty bad. Let's see what even happened out of it. But you can see the Caucasian hands that are
Posting
shown here.
on
These people use
Facebook
it, not
as a
black people.
warning to others, Feeney wrote,
Uh-huh.
"This is what black henna can do to your skin.
Oh no.
We let our children have them on holiday, not thinking for a second it would be dangerous. The hospital have said that the chemical dyes in black henna are too strong."
See?
How can it be too strong? You are the Egyptians. Egypt used henna all the time.
Wow, the logic fails her and she won't look up henna. She's just trying to find something racist to yap about and wants to act mad about the fact that she isn't part of a culture that did something like that. It's pathetic to watch, but here we are at 2019 in America. Y'all enjoy.
Was found on the mummified bodies.
Yes, Caucasians, yeah. Mummified bodies of all these
They
Caucasians.
found it in the hair.
Yeah.
They found it on the fingers.
Mm-hmm. And they did tests on it, and they said, no, it's not just henna, even making Ramsey's hair, which was grayed in his old age, and re-hennaed to his youthful color. But they pulled out some hairs by the root, and by looking through a microscope, because these people know what the hell they're doing, they can tell it had red stuff. Oh yeah, this was a redhead. The roots still show some of it. It grays out, but bam. And of course, just simply under a microscope, you can tell Negroid kinky hair from any Caucasian hair. It's real simple to do. I mean, it's pathetically simple to do. And of course, the mummies, people say, oh, they're dark. Well, anybody that gets mummified in that way turns into beef jerky, and they get dark as hell, and then they shellac them with this crap. So it's kind of pathetic. Blacks have been trying to pull this off for so long, and it's been proven over and over again that the DNA came out and it really just destroys any possibility, and yet you still see them trying to yap. It's like they want to be proven that they're mental. It's the only thing you have left after what's going on. Let's continue.
Because they used to do their hands,
fingernails,
and even their toenails in henna.
Yeah, in henna.
They had it on their skin too.
Designs, yeah.
So how is it that the Egyptians wore this henna all the time?
Yep.
And the people that claimed they built Egypt got a burn from henna.
How that would happen is this is made out of kerosene and chemicals, like they just said, and the hospital said that they're using a dye that has chemicals in it that are too strong, and you so desperately want to be hateful, racist, and a lying witch that you want to actually try to not cognate that or even ever look up henna as a definition and just look like I did a minute ago.
All right, let's go on.
Let's go on.
The hospital said that the black henna is too strong.
Yeah, chemicals.
They now have chemical burns and are on antibiotics and antihistamines.
Yeah, antihistamines are going to keep your skin from reacting like whenever you have, bug bites and any of that stuff. So it'll help them and keep them from wanting to itch it, because one of them's itched it to the point of scratching the shit out of it and is causing problems, and they need to leave it alone. So they put all this antibiotic ointment on them and leave it alone. Now you're going to look at it when it's messed up. Let's continue.
In the hopes that they won't get infection.
Yeah, you don't want to get an infection.
Or get poorly.
Yeah. So amazing Caucasian doctors here and stuff. It's not some Witchdoctor voodoo thing where she would probably shake a chicken at you or something. Let's go.
If you are offered, just say no. Now here it is. You can see the skin raised right here.
Spider-Man, yeah.
From the chemical burn, and you can see the chemical burn from the henna on both children. This one looked like some kind of spider web.
Yeah.
That looks horrible. And this one, I don't know what that is, but they...
Guys, I don't know if you're able to see it from there. Let me see if I can zoom in here. They won't let me zoom past this point. I can easily tell that that's a Oriental type dragon that's on his arm. There's the head, and it goes down his arm. Anyhow, and you can see how this kid is scratched at it real bad versus what's going on here. And it's caused ... and dot down here, and that they don't want it to get infected. No big deal. They're just mentioning it. But the reason they're putting that little thread out there is that, hey, y'all visiting Morocco, watch out. Don't get a black henna tattoo. Just get the brown one and everything's cool. But she equates that to Caucasians weren't the Egyptians, and somehow it's West African primitives again. Isn't that hilarious?
They also got chemical burns from henna that
Chemical burns.
derives from
Chemical burns. She clearly says that it's chemical burns, but yet wants to shunt that out of her low IQ mind. Let's continue.
Egypt. So the Egyptians can't handle Egyptian henna.
That's not Egyptian henna. Oh my God. I'll get you, my pretty. Hey, look at Elvis, the kid in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's pathetic. That cackle right there. I would play it over and over again, but it's disgusting. Hey, there's Elvis's kid. Damn, he looks like him between her and him pretty much. And wow, man, the kid looks great. Anyhow, what doesn't look great is blacks' attitude, life in this world. They're jealous. You know, they're not a part of the Bible. That's all Caucasians, of course. We looked at that with the Hamite possibility there and everything, you know. And of course, it was stupid to believe in the first place. If there was one guy cursed to somehow be a Negro, who would he marry? And then that makes a mulatto, and they cream down from that. How would it ever make some primitive Negroid race in the middle of nowhere? And hey, what about all those Mongoloids and those Asiatics and stuff, and those Eskimos and those Amerindians and all those other people it doesn't talk about at all? But oh, blacks gotta be, so kind of disgusting. And what they do nowadays, it's racist as hell, but people let it go on because I guess it's pathetic entertainment. Let's continue with that cackling.
The Lancashire base mother's post has been shared more than 200 times, garnering comments from fellow parents wishing her sons a speedy recovery.
She's from Lancashire, England, huh? So they went there on vacation, and she's gotten 200 hits off of it. Doesn't sound like it's that dramatic of a thing that went off of it. Somebody's blowing it out, but then they're blowing it out and using it for an idea of, hey, y'all watch out for this, because this black henna has this chemical thing, and it's made with acetone or some type of kerosene type of product, gasoline literally itself. And hell, if they just drew on gasoline on your arm and let it sit there, it's going to make a burn. But she's so ignorant, she wants to equate it to somehow West African primitives are now back to being Kangs because some kid got a tattoo. Do you see how she tries to desperately make that happen in her mind and into anybody's mind that's listening?
Boys, that stuff should have been banned. Okay, so something the Egyptians used.
Wow, she's laughing at the pain.
3400 BCE should be banned.
Cackling like a witch. 3400 BC, they didn't have acetone and PDD and the other thing they talked about, you cackling witch. And therefore, you're just making yourself into a pathetic mess in public. And it's kind of disgusting, and by kind of, I mean a lot. Let's continue. Oh my God.
These places should be banned. Feeney's account follows a similar story from Jade Morris, 26, whose young children suffered severe burns in July after getting black henna tattoos in Tunisia.
So here we are over in Morocco someplace, and these people are doing it somewhat, and it's causing reactions on a lot of people, especially kids. I showed it over there, but I showed you how even just the imported version of it that isn't made like that crap still had some chemical problems in it, and they've been outed in the FDA, and they won't let them do it anymore because it's caused problems. So I don't know if she has a coagulative mental problem, but yes, and she also has a spiritual problem. And it's just really affecting the witch here. Let's continue.
So these white people are going on vacation to Africa, which we always knew y'all did, and you try to discourage black people from going. And
why would we discourage black people from going back to Africa? We heartily recommend that you all go back to Africa because you don't like it here and you make up racist lies, Jesse Smollett, and you make up crap like this to get mad about. See, you make up crap like we was Egyptians, and then you get all mad about it whenever you're not, and then you throw fits, and it's all Whitey's problem, and it's all your problem, man. It's all your mental problem.
You get there, you're using the same thing that the ancient Egyptians used on their skin, but you are getting burnt from it.
No, did you hear the thing about chemical burns? You're not breathing in and out oxygen real well, not getting there, no synapses are firing real well. The logic meter turns off when the racist thing turns up. That's the way that works.
I'm just saying.
She is just saying.
Okay, so these kids got a
Tattoos.
chemical burn.
She steered away from tattoos and Caucasians.
Ancient Egyptians used all the time. They used it.
They used red. They developed the second kind. The third kind was used for more of a paint, and that's not what they used around their eyes or anything. That's coal. Totally different. And you don't know what you're talking about, and you're a disgusting, racist, hateful witch, as you've shown yourself to be.
So much it can even be found on mummies.
Yeah, they painted the mummies, those Caucasian Egyptians. It's incredible.
On the mummified bodies, they are finding henna.
Earliest one was ginger, redhead. Yeah.
And the people that claim to be the builders of Egypt
not claim,
are going there and
proven.
Getting chemical burns from the henna that Egyptians used on their skin and hair for thousands of years.
Not the same thing, but a weird chemical reaction mixed with gasoline. Negro, put gasoline in your hair, let it burn into your scalp, and then start yapping. Shut the hell up with your racist yap.
Burns them. You can't make this shit up, y'all.
Oh, yes, you can. She is right now.
You can't make it up.
Cackle.
Please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. It seems like every damn thing burns their skin, don't it? Peace, family.
So she threw in the every damn thing burns their skin, don't it? Again, the jealousy thing. For lifeguards, giggle their ass off all day long, and rednecks and farmers and house framers and professional golfers, and everybody does. Now we know it can give you skin cancer, so we've developed this incredible sunscreen we like to put on. Blacks like to use it to keep themselves from getting too dark because they can tan slightly, and they've been using bleaching things and stuff. And what I think, I won't leave it down in the comments. You won't like it and you'll throw it out. I'll just go ahead and make my own video about it. Hey, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Hit those notification buttons, fam. And peace.